Good evening and welcome to another night of painting. Tonight I've got a couple of bits and pieces. I'm going to do one bit of Legion and hopefully one bit of X-Wing, both at the same time. Hopefully while one's drying I'll be getting the other bit done. Good evening Lucky, good evening Simon, Foxy, hi Ulfric. Oh, that's a pint. I didn't get anything to drink. Oh. Zoe will be down in a minute. Hi, Kay. How are you? Look what I'm doing a fast paint job on tonight. Oh, yes. Some people have to work. It's. I'm sure we'll watch it back when he gets home. Can you do me a purple snake? So what I'm going to do tonight, hi, is I'm going to do one of the Aethersprites. Now, the Aethersprite is going to be in. I'm going to try and recreate this gold. This. Yeah, I'll do that one as well. The same. This one, I'm going to do a quick, like a speed painting job on it, and hopefully a couple of cheeky ways to get around some of the bits and pieces. And then this one is. James mentioned it. So when I've done things like Iron Man to get the deep pearly gold colours, and this, I've used an out of print colour from Forge World. We had Disco Vader in 1.0. So yeah, the Forge World did an Angron Red, and it is actually clear in the pot. So what we... getting there. What we intend to try is... GW released Angron Red Clear, which was meant to be a replacement of that, and... that's got more, I think, basically like a airbrush medium in there, so it's gone quite milky, so to speak, whereas this stays clear. So, and I tried this on something and it didn't quite work. So the idea is I'm going to use the same gold that I've used before to get this. This has that with it. Sorry. That's what I've used on that. So, hopefully, what I've got to try is, I'm going to try the contrast paint. Now, this is Blood Angels Red contrast. It seems to have snuck open with one of my skulls on the top. Now, that is quite see-through. So what I'm hoping, I've not tried this, I've not tested it, so it could be a horrible failure and everything go massively wrong, is to get somewhere like that with the contrast paint. Hi, LaRock. Yes, I do have the Tamiya paint. Oh, thank you, darling. I have the Tamiya Clears. I use it for blood. It's a really good blood colour. The problem is I don't like putting that sort of stuff through the airbrush. I don't like putting thinners based stuff through my airbrushes because it depletes the seals, and you've also got to clean them a lot more than I do. So I do like the water based stuff, and I tend to try and keep to that. 1 second, sorry. Oh, how cool is that? That's a green cup, but you can't see it. You can see the X and the the sneak on that side, but you can't see the actual invisible paint. So I'm gonna try that with that. I'm gonna try a quick paint job, paint, dry brush, face, stick, belt, done, hopefully as quick as possible with the Emperor. And I would really like to see how that works with this. So I should have done a bigger ship, but it was something that I had laid around. Let's think. What else was there? There was the giveaway. So we're getting close to our monthly goal, which is pretty good. So any donations are greatly taken. Any subs, please sub away. If you've got a Twitch Prime account, Amazon Prime account, then you can do it free through that. So anything like that is greatly appreciated. Tonight's stream, the prizes, once I find the prize box, we have some spot gloss cards. So it's only one this week because they're quite rare and quite expensive cards. We have the choice of, so if you win and you're an X-Wing follower, then there is one of the Anakin spot glosses from the latest kit. And that's in the Y-Wing, and you can see the spot gloss is absolutely fantastic, and then the back has the full art version of it. So you get the choice of that, or you get the choice of the Legion spot gloss, which again is from the latest kits, and it's Shore Troopers spot gloss on one side, which looks really good, and on the other side it's got the filthy rebel veteran people, but again both spot glosses. So that's what people will be raffling away for at the end of the night. We have had issues with, yeah, the spot gloss troopers are really nice. The raffle has been playing up. It played up in our last one, and it played up for Rasta on Monday night. We believe it's because there's a lot of Streamlabs use and their servers are suffering at the moment. From what I can see is they're trying to improve the servers, but in this climate it's a bit hard for them. So when Alex shut the stream down last night, it actually kicked up and worked. So if we do that, if we shut the stream down and I try and do it then what I will do is I'll take a screenshot of that and I'll put it up in the channel for ProTech, and then I'll also mention it tomorrow night. So a few people have been asking me about this gift chest thing. I have no idea where it is. Let's have a look. It's in Streamlabs Manager. Use a gift chest. I have. There is no Twitch loot available at this moment. Start collecting. Nope. Earn more points. I'm not sure I've managed to get it turned on, Foxy, so I might have to under the quick actions section you will need to add. Yep, I've got that. Use gift chest. Hi Spooky Egg. Bean. Aha, I remembered. Oh, cool. I've just noticed 70 followers. Thanks for the heads up. My start collecting gifts is greyed out, so I'm presuming it is active. Possibly. You know, I'm going to have to make you a login for this, and we can start having a look at it together. So, while I'm reading what Foxy's saying, I'm going to do the first thing of zooming in a bit, because here goes. So, one of the little Aethersprites. So, I'm going to put a magnet on it, my usual magnet. I'm not going to drill the actual thing out. I'm just going to put one of that size magnet on. It's stuck to a pair of pliers at the moment. What I've actually done is I've roughed up the back of the magnet so it's got some purchase on for the super glue, and then just with a pair of cutters, there's one or two ways of doing it. You can sometimes pop it and then pull it out, and that actually gives you a spare peg if anyone ever needs a spare peg. And then looking at it, it's going to be sitting a bit proud, so I'm taking a pair of side cutters again, just cut off that circle. These are very, very good side cutters. They are Tamiya MH17Us. They are flush cut on that side. We have been trying to get some of these into the shop. They're between £15 and £20 a set, but I've had these for about 5 or 6 years. They're still as sharp as they were when I got them, and yeah, they're pretty much spot on. Hi Reese, I've just noticed some of the things are taking ages to scroll up. So we have pretty much flush, so I'll take it off that. That's rough. That's pretty rough from it being cut. So what I'm using is hi mate, super glue gel, Gorilla, and I will drop the Aethersprite, put a small blob just that, and I'll just set that in place like so. So what I'll do is I'll let that dry for a second. While that's drying, I'll zoom back out. I still haven't worked out a remote control for this camera yet. I'm a bit convinced they don't actually exist for what I want. So that's airbrush, wrong side. So what I'm going to quickly do is it's clean. Have a quick look with some glasses on. Is there any mold lines I need to? Yes, there is. So just on his head and going onto his shoulder, there is a mold line. So just where you can. I also, if I've got one handy, I don't think I do. I also use a wire brush to clean off as much as I can sometimes. I'm just going to use a knife for now. So There's nothing there. There should be one going across the top of the head there. So just very lightly, trying not to... This is someone's trade-in, so looking at it there, we have super glue in places that it shouldn't be. So there, just there. And there we go. That is cool. So airbrush, airline, and this is Styrolres, whatever it's called. It's the Badger primer. I'm not going to need much, so let's just cover the base. Oop, drop the figure. The first thing I'll do actually is the underside of the base, so it's drying while I do the rest. So, it's okay to touch on the bottom, it's all dried quite quickly. Oh, I missed a bit, that's why it's dried. So, just air through it now, as you can see it dries off with just air blowing through. And the top half. And there we have it. I'll let him dry for a second. I'll zoom back out. Ooh. So, clean that through the airbrush. And clean it out. So, put that there for now. I've got a new map for tonight. This is all wings X-wing play mat. We had a couple of them in, and I thought one of them would be great on the stream. It is going to get manky, but it's something that I can lift up and put down for the streams rather than what's underneath is quite horrific. So that one's done. The Aethersprite magnet is fixed. This is my paint stand, but you can see it's pretty well pretty well stuck. So I've had a lot of people ask me about priming the X-Wings. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So I'm going with a no for this one. Look for a brush and some thinners. Just an old brush because it's thinners based paint. What's that one? Yeah, Pro Painter. One of them. I don't know where the thinners has gone. I'll find it later. So, and he throws the brush away. The paint I'm using for the gold base is going to be Vallejo's Liquid Gold. The rattling that you can hear in it is our one of our new range as well. It's our glass agitators. We've just started selling these on the shop. They're actually doing quite well. So that's the gold. I'll put it onto that. And a little bit of a zoom, not much. So we're going to be covering up that lovely Galactic Republic logo as well. So this is alcohol based paint, and it's the coverage on it's fantastic. You've just got to be careful you don't get too much pooling in the recesses, but just spreading it tends to work. It dries really smooth once you get the coat on. And underneath as well. As I say, I've got no idea how this is going to go. When we've done them in the past, I've got the one that I flew at IQ Games was done in the same colours and the same system. I did one in purple and one in red and gold. It was like an Iron Man type one. And yeah, I hate these brushes for doing this. So, just a bit in there. Hi, Snipe. So there we have it. Bright gold for now. And that brush is ruined because I hit the super glue with it. I didn't check the super glue was off. And how to ruin a brush in the bit. It saves me from cleaning it. And so that's the gold done on that. So I'm going to let that dry. Just there. And Palpatine. So the first thing with Palpatine, and I'm just going to do it through the airbrushes. I'm going to get the other airbrush out. Is face and hands. I normally do it quickly with the airbrush. Again, using a normal brush, is just as fine. Can't find the colours. So, a grey flesh colour. My precious. Hi, Jack. So, a grey flesh colour to then turn into skin. Wolf grey. Wolf grey and then Reichland flesh shade over the top. So I'm going to use my superfine detail brush. It has been cleaned. And it's Vallejo Game Air Wolf Grey. And I've put 2 drops, maybe 3 drops in there, because I don't really need that much pressure either. So I'll drop the pressure right off. So we've got something I can show you on how. So this is just the smallest amount coming out. Let's have a close up. Let's see it all go wrong very closely. Hi, Mr. Sandra. Sorry, got something in my mouth. You'll probably see the face appear as I do it. So, and also the hand. I should be wearing gloves. I'm going to do is extend that just. There we go. Hand on. So there we have it. Right, I will have caught obviously parts of the black with that. So what I will do is clean my brush first. It's Wolf Grey, Jack, but what I'm going to do is put Reichland flesh shade over the top of it, and that should bring it back down to a. It still should be quite a deep, like, grey skin colour, but should also have the same like grey effect of bleached skin. So I'm going to come out a little bit. So what I've done is I've got some of the black on the palette, and with the size 0 is where I've managed to catch it, and if you can see there, is just quickly run the bit more primer down it. It's quite thin, so it covers really easy. So I'm trying to get some of the effect of like a blue glow on his hood. And then keep it like that. My paint's about to... I'm moving my palette. It's escaping. Again. Just clearing a bit of the overspray up. Not too much. I'm going to try and keep some of the basically the overspray round where his fingers are to put a blue glow in eventually. And obviously the base, just him. So there we go. And yeah, that's the Wolf Grey Jack Gamer. And then we have the black to go with, and the gold. So not bad for what, 20 minutes work, 30 minutes work, getting there. So do we go for the dry brush? I'm going to go for the dry brushing. So the black's pretty much black. It could do with some sort of shading and stuff like that. So what I use is a dark grey. I've got Citadel's Eshin Grey, and what I'm going to do is dry brush that over the cloak once I find my... Oh, my cloths have gone. So pop the lid. So just a small amount on the brush, rubbing it off as much as possible on a cloth and a paper towel. And then what I tend to do with Palpatine is for the hood, I tend to go in that direction, but to pick up all the folds I go that direction. So let's do the hood first. A bit that way. So you're just picking up the raised edges. I managed to get grey down the rip top. I'll have to redo that. I just keep revisiting, small amount on the brush. You can check it on your hand. And just quickly dry brush up and down. In fact, I'm just going to go in circular motions for that back bit. Yeah, if you go against the line, I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and get really close. Oh. So you can see that line that's quite prominent. That's because I went over the top of it, side by side, side to side. If you go down, it tends to go into the folds as well, so you don't really get the effect that you're looking for. So where you've got folds that way, you would never do it in that way. So if I do that, you might be able to even paint this yourself by the time I've finished. So there you go. It's not as noticeable on the camera, but in my hand it is. And the more you do it, the more the grey builds up on the folds. So these are the brushes that we've been pushing at the moment. They're really soft brushes, soft bristle. And if you get, I would say, about 95% of the paint off before you start doing it, and then just do it very lightly backwards and forwards, it takes a couple of passes, but it builds up. And don't worry if you think you've gone too far, because you can then just do a null and wash to get the bits that, the recesses where you think you've got some of it in. So there you go. My hands are getting covered in paint. So as I've said, it's not a massive We've got plenty of Legion stuff for you, mate. I'll have a word with you later. But thank you very much for the support as usual, mate. If anyone wants to donate to the channel, there's a button just below down here, over there somewhere. Following really helps. It helps promote it. Cheering, any of that sort of stuff that you feel like doing, then that'd be brilliant. We are going to do more, and the giveaways, I've got plans for the giveaways of getting better and better and better. Tonight's giveaway is round about a £20 promo card that is quite hard to get hold of at the moment. Well, one of two of them. And I know there's X-Wing players and Legion players alike in here, so it caters for both. You can choose which one you want. There we go. As you can just start to see it. It's not a quick bang, it's done, but as opposed to sitting and doing all of the layers and stuff like that, it's just a fast speed technique. There we go. Well, come back next week. Fix that. So quick running repair. I've still got black on the palette. I'll do that and then come back to dry brushing the top in a bit. So as you were asking before, Jack, I'm cleaning the dry brush. So it's just clean water on it, and if you watch on here, that's the grey paint that came out. So if you were to do white dry brushing next, you would get a lot of grey coming out on it. So clean it as much as possible. You will start to get, like I have there, build up of colour. You can then use brush soap and clean it all. Thank you, mate, for donating. So, the next one is going to be the red. Now, as I've said, never done it before. No idea if it's going to work. If it works, I'm going to be over the moon, because it means I don't have to spend a fortune on the Forge World red paint. So, I've got a blockage. So, I don't know if you can see the needle. The needle has some build up on it. I use, there's various ones, just airbrush spray can cleaner into a cloth. Always just pull it one direction backwards away from the point, and there you go, clean again. The brush could probably do with the same, but it's due its strip down at the end of this week. I do each brush every 2 weeks. Yeah, that's fine. And that's a complete strip down in the ultrasonic bath for a couple of hours and a full service if it needs anything. Come on. What's the bubble thing? Bubble thing on my screen. Tell me where it is, Paul. So, we have GW's Infinite Wisdom. Again, you can hear the rattlers in this. So, I have a pipette to get paint out of these fellas. And bottom left of where that. Oh, the number of viewers. Over. Let me see if I can. That. Yeah, that's a number of people in the channel. Yeah. The speech bubble is number of people in the channel. So, let's see how this goes. So this is GW's Thank You Snowing. This is GW's Contrast Blood Angels Red, hoping to get somewhere close to this. Maybe he's not, maybe he will. Should we do it close? Let's go close. Again, going in, I'm definitely putting a pair of gloves on for this because contrast paint doesn't come off. So, I think I'm also going to have to get some more lights because the lights are starting to dim where I'm sat. Yeah, and I've used little or none in that. That is really good. I'm trying not to go too deep on it because I want to try and keep it the same as Iron Man colours. So yeah, to say I'm impressed with that. I know it's not shiny like the, but you could then go over that with gloss varnish. I tend to matte these off anyway. Now I've got a pot full of red because I thought it was going to take a lot more than that. And we'll pour it back into the pot. Shh, don't tell anyone. So, to say I'm impressed is an understatement. And I'm going to have to try more contrasts through the airbrush. I'll have to try it over the GW gold as well. See how that goes. Gives me an idea. So I'll be using that again in a second. Oh, I know what it is now. So yeah, that's given the gold effect that I want, the red effect over the gold that I wanted, which has come out really nice. Thank you, Awesome Sauce, for the follow. So I have my spray ready Retributor armor. I'm just going to try it on one panel to see what it goes on like, so I'm not using too much to start with. I'm going to go to my Broken Toad size 0. Can't remember which panels I did for my other one, so I'm just going to do those 2 panels there. And that contrast has literally died. Thank you for the sub, mate. It is a very sexy brush. And thank you, X-Wing Tavern Wars. So... here we go. God, that's got better focus than I have. So, a couple of gold panels, get the gold covered. I'm going to put the super spectacles on. This is where my head gets in the way usually. Right, that paint's It's drying. It's red hot in here tonight. I don't know where this summer's come from. So what I'm going to use is, I have a pot. It has airbrush thinners and half a dozen drops of flow improver in as well, so it stops the drying as quick. And I'll just a little dabble of that with that. Yeah, that's better. So it just thins the paint down slightly. So those two lines. See, I can't remember which ones I filled in on the one that I did, so I'm just going to make it up as I go along. A bit more coverage on there. So miss, hit, hit, and then do the point. So the point goes gold. So that one there. And then the long bit down the nose. And yes, I'm holding my breath. So I'm going to wash this with Reichland as well, because the Reichland does well on the gold. Really highlights the gold. But with it being a reddy colour, it's already going to go for... it's going to go well for the red recesses. A blue arc reactor. If I only knew someone who could put LEDs into stuff like this, it would be amazing. So, a couple of panels. I want to do the fin down the back. Breathing, holding my breath again. Very carefully. Don't matter too much if I hit the cockpit, because that's going silver. Funny you should mention that, Snowy. Kay's actually donated it to the channel for us to paint next week, or the week after, whenever it arrives. So yeah, it's spot on by Kay. Yeah. So, I could do with another little bit of gold in there somewhere, just to break up the red. So, them panels, or the side panels? That, missing. So I could do that panel there. We've got quite a few people interested in the stream for us to do bits for them. A couple of customers have asked if I'll paint their actual work on the live stream. I don't like being put under pressure. And a couple of manufacturers are sending us stuff. Hopefully in the next week we should have a delivery from Gamers Grass, and Gamers Grass have sent us some bits and pieces for the stream. So a couple of bits to try out, a couple of bits to test, and a couple of bits to give away to you guys. So can't wait till that lot turns up. Is everyone's points working tonight? Can people check that the points are working? Not just the subs, but people that are just watching. Right. So something along those lines. Yeah, he's put it up. I either showed me or put it up a while ago with the Darksaber attached. It looked pretty nice. So obviously I've done the top. We would usually do the bottom as well, but this is just to show you guys how stuff like this comes out. I'm going to give that a couple of minutes to dry. Now, so I'm getting the Reichland flesh shade out for Palp, and yeah, I thought it was on one of the groups. So I'm wanting a really thin down wash for his face, and at the moment I'm using Reichland flesh shade. I have got a couple of other ones to try. I've just got the Army Painter range of inks, washes. People have been telling us how good they are, so I'm going to give them a go. But what I do use from Army Painter is their medium. So a quick shade mixing medium, and 2 drops of that into about 3 or 4 bushfuls of Reichland, and you can see how it goes. It goes a bit milky because the medium, but yeah, days are just blurring into one. So there's a lump there. Just get it on to fill up the recesses. See how that dries. Try to stop any of the pooling. It's not going to show up as much on the dark stuff. What you've got to try and do is to still get it to pool in places like the mouth, the eye sockets, around the forehead. There we go. And some under there. So I'll let that dry with that. So with the Reichland, actual neat Reichland, I'm going to do some colouring on the ship. So I'm trying to get the panels as level as possible. We will gently cover the model, and what that'll start doing is in the gaps it will pool. As long as you don't go daft and just throw it on and do loads of it. I do need a little bit more in there. It shouldn't dull the red or the gold that much, but it should highlight in all of the gaps. There we go. Try to follow the lines, but also it's turning it a bit more red, like a rustic red, rather than just a bright candy red. In that group. And down there. Not too, as I said, the cockpit isn't too much of an issue at the minute. Right, too much of that. Final. And yeah, we shall leave that to dry. So, I'll zoom back out for a minute. Not out, not in, out. Out, in. So, if you haven't noticed, we've changed the mat, as I've said. The other mat got quite gooey and sticky and covered in stuff. And I've cut up an all-wings X-wing mat that we had. It had got a corner chunk taken out of it, so I just thought, Star Wars-y, might as well have it on. So he's going... You might need another coat of nothing. So, for everyone on the stream, we'll start the raffle again at 8:30. The tonight prizes are as follows. Yay, it worked. So, you get the choice of a Legion card or a X-Wing card. The two that we have, in fact I've got them here, I'll turn that one off. Is we have the Anakin Skywalker Republic card, Y-Wing. So it's for the Republic Snowy, it's not the and that is the credit card spot gloss. and the artwork on it is fantastic. And then we have, for Legion, we have the Shore Troopers, which again is the credit card spot gloss. Or if you flip it over, you have the Rebel Veterans spot gloss, which does look, that may make that little yeah. So there's Rebels, there's Imperials. As I say, at past, I might take a couple of minutes to get this stream working. From what we can understand, everyone's been having issues with the stream. But what I'm going to do for next week is probably get these two finished, and probably do them as well as a promo. I don't know. Is there an Anakin? There isn't an Anakin promo for that. Have you seen the other Shore Troopers yet, Jack? With the set that you get that in, you get. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, Spot Gloss Shore Troopers. The Shore Troopers that I can't find. So, the general Shore Trooper card is like that in cardboard, Jack. They're still very shiny at the moment. But if you flip it over, I'm going to have to zoom in all the time with one of these, I think. You get the Mortar Trooper on the back side of it. Yeah. We've got a full kit of these at Beanies to... by the time Beanies gets back up and running, I think we will be into the next wave. So a lot of this stuff will get used on our Friday nights. Or a little bit extra here and there. It's the Rebels that were bad people. Tell you what I did get the other week, Jack. The Rebel Blast Trooper and the Veteran to go with it. But what is going to probably more interest you, and I think these are very, very underused, it's the E-Web. But it's an Italian E-Web. So it's an Italian promo. So I got the Italian promo for the E-Web and the Italian promo for the Snowtrooper. Yes, they are nice artwork. It's L-Web. It's an E-Web, not L-Web. Oh, I forgot to put one of them. Forgot to put some away. Yes. E-Web does Italiano. Dos Italiano. Yeah. Oh, Rasta will be kicking my backside if he hears that. So, I say about 8:30, hoping that this Streamlabs doesn't fall over and do all kinds of weird stuff. He says looking. Where is it? Come on. Oh, not alert box. Cloudbot. Giveaways. didn't post up anything about the giveaway, so custom giveaway, edit, Legion or X-Wing Sword Glass. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are doing. I think the big pull is the gaming ones at the moment. Can the Italian? I'm not even going to get into what the Italians can and can't hit. That was a long time ago. What I want to do is, well, before I sort that out, is the wash hasn't worked very well on Mr. Palpatine. So I'm going to go in. Oh, that's better. Just raw, neat. Yeah. I thought that's what I did. I can't remember thinning it down last time. But there we go. You lie back down there, Palp. Oh yeah, they do love pineapple. Isn't it their national fruit? Just waiting for something to come flying through the air from Rasta. What was I going to do? Look at this. So advanced. Ticket costs 50. So any subscribers get an extra free ticket. And that still hasn't changed what it is. Oh yeah. That one wasn't Streamlabs error, that was Dalton error. So hopefully that should be set up. So that's moving nicely. Pulp can lay back down. So all the lines have come in. There seem to be is there any? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get. Yes, we're having a game. Me and Zoe are having another game tomorrow night. What I've got is the Nuln. Yeah, the stream. I'm powered by Sneak, not the stream. Yeah, that'll work. Sorry, I was off camera. Some of the more prominent lines haven't come in, so what I've got is I've got raw Nuln Oil, pure Nuln Oil. And what I'm going to do is find some of the lines and do a bit of a just run. So just running the Nuln Oil into the gaps of some more of the prominent ones, like the full edge down there. It's great having a fine tip and then being able to just push it into the gaps. It just defines the panels and stuff like that a bit better. I know GW do a panel line that's absolutely phenomenal, but it's oil based and I'm not a great I like my water based products. So there's one there as well. Just how it picks. I think someone will tell me the correct term. I think it's capillary action, something like that. So it just goes down down each one of the lines. And you can do as little as much as you want to highlight certain panels, or let panels just blend in. So the gun ports, they will be quite sooted up, so I'll have them so again, around the cockpit I would want to put a defined line in, but darkening up those that hatch there and a little bit in there. So I'll leave that at that. What I'm doing is, come on Chrome, where are you? So again with the shakers. Yeah, catch you tomorrow, mate. Model Air Chrome 064. I use this a lot. In fact, this is a brand new bottle, as my last bottle is, I think it's in the bin now because it actually ran out. Now, this is where getting super fine and super detailed requires the close-up glasses. So I'm going to try the cockpit. I'm going to do it in silver. I did have some thinners. There we go, flow improver. Oop. There we go. Right, what colour? Silver cockpit? And do that. Yeah. I was going to do the green, but I think my last one was green. It just looks a bit odd. Red and green should never be seen, or something like that. So that should have dried. So again, just in the gaps. What that does is blends it in a bit. In fact, it's a bit too bright. I might just do the whole thing. So yeah, let's wash down a bit. Yeah, that's and that'll dry, and that'll like blend the edges of the silver into the cockpit. Cool. I'll tell you what else. Well, the silver's fresh on the palette. Let's silver the astromech. And a dot inside each one of them. So we've got, there we go. I'll use the blue the blue paint on them later. See, it does need some gold or some black bits underneath to fill it out. So, and what time we've got? Half past. Push that back. Pulp now. Let's have a look. Has got a quick definition. He looks like he's got fangs. Just with the wash, as I said, it was just a quick going over with the wash. I'll need some brown. What's brown? Flat brown. So that's just model colour, flat brown for the time being. Closest brown to hand. And a quick paint of his walking stick. And what I'm also going to do is his belt and sash in the brown, but I'm going to add a touch of black just to darken it up a bit more. Not that much though. Yep, that's good enough. So what you can't see is, I'm just using a tile. And I've got the brown there, and I've just nicked a bit of the black from there, and I've got a darker brown, sorry. And then try to just get the sash and the buckle-ish part where it's tied the knot. Yep. A little bit on the top. Yeah, just so it's not, I didn't want it too garishly brown, so it stands out. Cheers, Dan. So I can't remember, and I haven't got a box at hand. Is that just standard grey, the neck piece? Let me see if I've got a box. No, there's no boxes. No boxes. They're up in the garage. So, if it is, I'll catch up with that later. So, the blue glow the blue glow. Again, this is... what time is it? In 2 minutes, mate. Let me just get this blue on and then I'll get this running. So, this is Gulliman Blue. It's a glaze by GW that is no longer available. But if you can find any... There's a load of shops that still have it. Or there's other companies out there. I believe... I believe Army Painter ink works just the same. So, again, I've got some of that to try soon. Oh, sorry. So what I'm doing is where the overspray is from the hands, is coat it in the Gulliman Blue. Going on down there. And then a little bit oh, sorry. So if this lit up, then I wouldn't have this issue. Too soon, Junior. Still got 5 minutes. Just while I do this. And then I'll put it on. Such impatience in children these days, Snowy. So the blue around the hood. I'm not kidding. On the actual model, it's nowhere near as bright as it looks on there. That absolutely looks phenomenal on the screen. It will take another couple of coats to see. It still wants some of the flesh to show through. Quickly do that. They are, I think, the 50 for this one, but there's only one prize this time. Bit of nulling. I'm also running the nulling all the way inside this bit because I know we got some dry brushing done in there, but I'd like that to remain darker. There we go. So still not started it yet. Know what I do need to do. I didn't get done. Sorry, I will do it once I've just done this. So yeah. Where's that cloth gone? Just where I repaired the point of the hat, the cloak hood. Just need to dry brush that back in. There we go. So, who's ready for the? Yeah, I haven't started the raffle yet. Right, so tickets are 50 each. The winner will receive either the X-Wing card or the Legion card, whichever one you want, whichever game you play, you choose. And just before I knock my nulling over, I'll put that out the way. Considering it's a new map, it hasn't done too bad. Thank you, Podpeas, for the donation. So, start the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it worked! Now I've just got to be able to close it. Oh. 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 I think you were a bit quick, Ulfric. Cool, look at everyone going for it tonight. So, along with the kits that we've been getting in, some of these have come all the way from America. Oh yeah, sorry, it was a maximum of 5. Sorry, Ulfric, that's my bad. These Legion sets that we managed to procure came with some very nice items. So once we surpass the £80, once we surpass the £100 monthly, we will do a stretch goal driven raffle, and that stretch goal will be for a set of the nice new clear X-Wing dice. Legion dice. These are going for ridiculous amounts at the moment. No idea why, but if people want to pay that, they are really nice. I don't know if you can. I'll try and do a zoom in. Do I need to be on a white background to see the... See, Snowy, those white cards come in useful. So that's the white dice. And that'll be in the next... Obviously, once we've met the... once we've met the monthly goal, we can do some little mini ones in between. And obviously, the first one will be for... Don't look at those dice, they're horrible. They are white, so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blanks on there. 1 hit, 1 crit, and 1 surge. So... Ooh. Come on, crits. Surge. They are very pretty. I know where there's a set of red ones, and I might snaffle them and buy them from the person who's got the red ones, and put a set of red ones up at some point as well. Couple of things that we actually, while the raffle's going on and I can chat, waffle and all that sort of stuff, a couple of things that we put onto the web store today. We've put on our rounded dry brushes. So in comparison, let me get a Stormtrooper. That's the size of the head, and as you can see, I've already been using it on white. So they are a really good soft dry brush. So that's the first one that we've got in the shop. Then we've got these ones, which are flat, so they're like a flat head. So they work one or two ways. You can go down the model like that, so it gets more of the whole model, or if you want a more intense one. Oh yeah, I forgot I'd given you a set to try. Did you like the flat one? It's really soft. So what you can do is just keep going, but you're doing a lot more by going down like that. They're really, really... I've been using them for about a year, when I've been able to get hold of them. When I was able to get hold of them this time, I've bought all of their stock that they had in, and I've put them onto the website. So we now sell these on the website. We do have another batch on the way of them and another one. So the other one, I haven't even opened it yet. So I've got another one which is smaller than the black, but it's the same bristles that's in the other white one, and it's just super, a really super soft brush. If you put the paint on it, you rub it off as much as you can, you're still putting a really, really nice dry brush effect, and the dry brush effect that comes off it is very subtle. It's not like the GW ones, where I do have a GW dry brush. So that's the GW dry brush, and you can see how soft that is, and that's really hard bristles. So these are good on big, for heavy dry brushing. These are really good for doing figures and doing, as Snowy said there, doing the trees. But we now have them in stock, and more of the line will be coming along. We are also waiting for, we have a, I wouldn't say a cheap range, but it's a more affordable Kolonsky Sable line, and we got these from Germany. They're unbranded. This 5 is the one that you'll see me using for like heavy washes. It goes down to, we have a 0, but they've got the hex handles like the army painter stuff. So for the people that like that design, it's a set of Kolonsky ones that are. Did I just? No, I didn't. Yeah, so they've got the same sort of quite fat handles for them. I know Raster's using these at the moment. He got a set off us a couple of weeks ago, and he's enjoying them. So they're the ones that are like are the more affordable. They're not going to last as much as the best brushes in the world. The Broken Toads. Unfortunately, Chris has just shut the shop for a couple of weeks during this crisis. But if you can get your hands on Broken Toad brushes, they are phenomenal. They hold the point. The point is really, really, really. Yeah, I can show you now, Jack. As I said, they're really good brushes. I'll just have so cleaning brushes. There's a few ways. There's no right or wrong way. You're just cleaning something. The thing I would recommend is one of two things. This is Masters brush soap, the Masters brush cleaner and preserver. I've used this for years, but also Broken Toads is as good. Maybe it's a little bit better than this stuff as well. So something with a bit of bristle on it, and something that will probably be mucky as well. So that's my number 2. So what I'm going to do is, that one's got nothing in. So this is just airbrush water. I use this for cleaning out my airbrush. It's just clean water. So the way I do it is wet the bristle, put it in the soap, and rub it round. You'll see the soap start melting and doing stuff that soap does. Just get some water onto it. Just realised I got it all over the mat. You'll actually see the paint coming off in there. So once you've got a good amount of soap on the bristle, the way I do it is get some water in the palm of my hand, yeah, and scrub it. So you can see it's actually going a browny horrible colour. So you've got a crease in your palm. I tend to run it and twist at the same time. So once you've done all that, you've scrubbed to get as much of it out as you can. You could do that 2 or 3 times to be like 100% sure that you've got it clean. You can see the little bits of paint, dried paint that are coming off it. So I would then clean that off. And my hand. So with your dry actual brush, now it's dry, try and get the point as pointy as possible. Then wet it. It will bloom up in the water. And then find some soap that is clean. Whether you clean it with a clean rag, and just twizzle it. And what you'll do is all the bristles will get soap on it, and then in the palm again, just twist it till as much of the water's off as you can, and then make sure you've got the point still. And when you've got the point, stand it in a container upright like that, and just let it go dry. That will basically, it'll hold all of the soap will dry on the bristle. It'll hold the point that you've got there. When you come to use it again, here's one I prepared earlier. It's quite hard. You can see it hasn't, it's not like a brush. So the first thing you do when you've got one that's been in preserver is put it in water and let it soften. Once it comes back out, it's soft again and it's good to go. There you go. And it's still got its point. Not that you can see because it's very blurry. There. So you've still got the point. This is my Mark 3. Ooh, Mark 2. So yeah, I think the Masters soap's about 10 quid for a didn't even say a tub that size. They are quite big if you consider that's pulp. He's blending into the, so it is quite a big tub, and one of them's last me. Yeah, the Broken Toad sell this, and they sell their own. If I could even, I think. Oh, here we go. Hi, Captain Rex. So, Broken Toad is pretty much the same. This is my unused one. Obviously, I'm in the middle of that one. But the one that I take to beanies is a Broken Toad pot. It tends to get more of the gritty out as well. A few times when I've had really, really caked on brushes that I've probably left by mistake or stuff like that. I've used the Broken Toad stuff to do like really deep cleaning. Oh dear, mate. You're just in time for the giveaway. The raffle is live. And wherever I can put it up, that's the prize. You can choose one or the other, an X-Wing or a Legion. They're both spot glosses. They're both plastic credit cardy type ones. And whoever wins tonight gets to choose which one of them they want. And so the things that you've missed tonight, Captain Rex, is I painted 2 things on the stream. See? Rasta's got to beat that now. From start to finish as well, so you can watch it back. Well, they're not finished, but there were just bits and pieces of getting them to as close to finished as I can. So we have the Iron Man variant Aethersprite. It does need a couple of bits. I need to touch up the gold, put a bit of highlights on the gold. The silver needs a highlight, and I need to do the bottom. So, as Rasta says, they'll be done. But, yeah, that was one. And then the other one has... Oh, God, that blue's... That blue looks nothing like that in real life. But what I am going to do is... A bit of water on that. I just noticed on the camera... It looks a bit weird not having it all in the blue. There we go. A bit more. I also need to do the black on there. It's really easy. I'm going to null in the walking stick to darken that down to pulp standard colours. I know a lot of you saw us, obviously Captain Rex wasn't here when I did it, but where you do the blue round the outside of the face, sorry, that still needs a bit more across his top lip. There we go. Yeah, and I'll never be the Rasta. I'm not going that far back. I'll do a couple of bits to finish it off. It needs basing, and I do need to do some highlights on the face and the fingers and stuff like that. I won't get them done tonight. But everyone saw me airbrush the face, the hands, and that gave overspray around the hood and the sleeves. What you can do, and this is something that we are looking for as well. GW used to do some dry brushes that are absolutely tiny, and this is the medium one, and they used to do one smaller than that. We're trying to find a cheap alternative for them, because this is the Artis Opus series, and that's a dry brush set. Now that's the size of the dry brush head. It's really, really, really nice, but it's a £60 set, and even I struggled to... I bought a set to try it out. I also got another set from someone to try out as well. But what you can do is you paint the face as normal, and then you would dry brush those bits, possibly like splaying outward, and round there to get the white effect. Once you've got the white effect, you use the Citadel glaze. We have spoke to someone about a couple of different coloured couple of different versions of glazes, and a company called Creature Caster have said they will help out once their quarantines are all lifted. And I'll go behind the secret covers to get. So Creature Caster do a range called Pro Acryl. They do a transparent range, so this is their transparent blue, and it works very much like the glazes of old. Now I've managed to pick up, even during this time of lockdown, I've managed to pick up a set of Pro Acryl transparents. Let's see if I can put some onto a... It might not even be opened. Look at that. It comes sealed. So what I'm going to do is just take some off the lid and put it on there. So inks are a bit thicker than washes and a little bit thicker than glazes, but what you can do is, that's the medium that I make myself, so it's got flow improver and airbrush thinner in, so it's gone very clear. So as you can see there, it goes extremely clear. I think maybe with medium rather than the thinner, because I can see on the camera a lot clearer that it's starting to break down. You can see it looks gritty. Well, that's the paint. Actually, it's starting to break down. So let's try a bit of this. Just on the underneath. So yeah, that covers really nicely. And I'll just do it right there. I'm going to do the hood as well. I'm going to have to find something to actually paint with this Pro Acryl stuff, because it's really smooth and it looks really cool. And obviously I'm also going to have to get better lighting. There we go. So I'll leave that fella there. And zoom back out. So 3 minutes. We'll call it. Okay, we'll start fighting with the raffle at 9 o'clock. So, close my box of them. Is there anything that anyone wants to ask tonight? Any questions about what we've done or what I've done to show you? That's been a really quick. It just shows you can be really quick with stuff like that. You don't need to. You don't need to do it through the airbrush. You could probably use Retributor Gold. Do a heavy dry brush, then do the contrast with a brush. If you do the contrast with a brush and thin it down a bit with the contrast thinners, it'll do all of the detailing. It should all fall into the nooks and crannies and give you some detailing, so you don't have to do as much as I did. Palp is secretly easy, even though he's gone very, very dark. If anyone wants to see them, then drop us a message and I'll stick some pictures up. I'm not sure about this mat and the ziggy lines on it, but we'll see. See how long it lasts with my paint work. And I'll have a quick drink before I close the entries. Right, there's this medium that I use is no, it's not Vallejo airbrush cleaner. It's well, I hope it isn't. It's Vallejo airbrush thinner, and so I fill that and then put about 10 drops of Flow Improver by Vallejo, and then that gives me my pot. Shake it up. It retards the drying a little bit with the Flow Improver, and then the thinners is I just prefer the airbrush thinner over water for thinning my paints. So I'll always have my little pot, which is that one, which has just started to go yet. It hasn't gone yet. It has gone yellow. It has picked the colours off the bottom of the thing. I usually have a totally separate milk bottle cap. One of the T Squadron, David, brings me bags of these, and I thought him bringing me so many, I couldn't possibly run out, but I'm still running out. When you start dipping your brush in, they start going like that, and you get paint in the bottom. So the first thing that happens with them is once they go like that, they go in the bin. Then they go in the recycling bin. How do you decide what to airbrush and what to use a paintbrush on? Oh, trial and error, Jack. I don't know. It's one of those things where you grab a model, and you look at it and you go, well, that's gone very dark. Let me just see if I can get that. I need someone that's better with cameras than me. If I could get this a bit light, 1 second. Ooh, wrong buttons. Pressing the buttons. I'll do the giveaway in a second. Filters. Brightness. That bit better. There we go. So with Palp, I could have just used a brush on the face and on the hands, but I wanted the glow round, and I know for a fact that if I use the airbrush I get overspray, so I use the overspray to help create the glow. The gold on this as I said, I don't like it going through the airbrush, but if I was using the Retributor Gold, I would probably use it through the airbrush to get a smoother coat. Then the red, again, for a smoother coat. If you're wanting a really good, smooth finish, then put it through the airbrush. If you're wanting, I think, if it's something like the hands that they've already been airbrushed or already been painted, going back in with the airbrush at certain points, it's not worth doing, because you'll spend more time cleaning up. Whereas when I just painted that, then I did the 3 spots of the wolf grey, I could then quickly go back in with the primer that I'd already used, the black primer from Badger, and then quickly clean where any overspray that I didn't want, but I could keep the overspray that I did want. And that was just a little thing to do before you then set about doing all of the dry brushing. Once you've dry brushed, if you airbrush after that, then that can cause reworking, having to redo the dry brush and stuff like that. So it's just, yeah, I think it's just something you get used to. You see it, you go, I'll do it this. Sometimes you get to it, you go, right, I need to do it this way. You do it that way, and then halfway through you go, oh, I should have done this there. And then at that point it's too late, and you've got to then do it by normal brush, and sometimes it can take a bit more, sometimes it can take a bit less. But I'd say it's just the more models that you paint, the more things that you see that you can do with an airbrush, the more things that you can speed up with an airbrush. I've never put contrast paint through an airbrush till tonight. That red coming out like it has that's opened a whole new can of worms for the airbrush with the contrast stuff. The only thing with the contrast, you've got to make sure it's shook up well, so that's why that's got the glass agitators in. The white that I've got is solid grey at the bottom, and I've got a mixing stick somewhere. Yeah. So I've actually got a Badger airbrush company mixing whisk. So that actually spins round. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And you can stick that in a pot and it mixes it. Even that struggled with the contrast earlier. So I'll put them away. I'm going to attempt to close the faster in that attempt. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to close the raffle now because we're 6 minutes past what I said. And missed that and that. Yeah. So closing now. Yes. Okay. Did you really want tickets, you little Me and you were having words tomorrow. I've just found a button that says resume entries. And I was going to try that and then probably crash the whole thing, and then I could blame you. So, I have been told that people in the stream get to see this long before I do, for some strange reason. We have 8 users and 37 entries. Catch you tomorrow, Captain Rex. So, tonight's winner of one or the other card is... I'm not going to say it because you'll all know before me. Ulfric. And that. Well done, mate. If you can let us know which one you want, X-Wing or Legion. I've got a feeling it's going to be X-Wing. then again we'll get that sent out to you. Oh, sorry. So yeah, X-Wing. I knew it. Your other ones have already gone out. I think I've only got. Yep, I've only got the couple of bits and pieces sat for Snowy, Jack, and Captain D-Man. So yes, well done, Ulfric. Again, thank you everyone for subscribing and donations and everything like that. Next week we'll be doing another painting session. Tomorrow we are doing another dad versus daughter X-Wing session where Zoe's going to kick my butt yet again. I can't let it be 3 turns in a row. I really can't. I've got a feeling it's going to be. Mr. Christian, thank you again for helping someone out with her list. She's really enjoying trying different lists, so any help that you can give her is absolutely brilliant. I'm just having a quick check on the stream manager. So as of tonight we have 16 subscribers. That's absolutely phenomenal, people. For something that's only been going for a month or so. 73 followers and 561 views. So that's fantastic. I'm absolutely blown away with that. I'm just going to check the gift thing again. Use gift chest. I still don't have a gift chest. So, Foxy, we'll talk probably tomorrow, and I think I can set you up an account so you can access this as well as me and give us a hand setting stuff up. So, again, amazing. Thank you, everyone. I'll get these finished in the next day or so, and I'll get the pictures of the finished models put up on the on Protec's page. And I shall see... Oh, one other thing. We have a D&D session on Friday in conjunction with Beanie Games for the Beholders. So we're going to be painting this little fella in conjunction with Beanie Games, and WizKids themselves are doing it. So we're going to be painting him on the live stream. If anyone wants one, Beanies have them in. You can grab one and paint along with me. You got a couple of days to get it in, to order it in. Beanies are still doing local delivery. So grab one and come along and paint with us. And that is that. Again, thank you. And we shall see you all tomorrow night for some X-Wing games. Catch us all soon.